Yeah. Good day. Let's continue with our classes. Today we're going to be talking about operators, and this is the part one of the operators. So, operators are used to perform operations on variables and values. In this notebook, we'll go over the following operators: arithmetic, assignment, comparison, operators, and there are more operators, but we'll take these ones for now. And the important thing is that operators are essential for calculations, assignment operators for updating data, and comparison operators for filtering, and all these are crucial for analysis in libraries like NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib. I'm sure we've done this before, but let's just go through it again. The the operators we know are much like we use them in maths. So let's say arithmetic, operators. We have the addition operators, where you can have something like, let's say x equal to 3, y equals to 8. So addition is saying x plus y, which you can assign to another variable called z. So that will give us z to be equal to 11. This is an addition operator, or plus. The plus sign is used for addition operation. Also, you have the subtraction, and this gives us 8 minus 3, which is 5. So you can see here we also have the multiplication or times in the, as we normally call it, commonly known, which is here. Now we are having 8 times 3, which is going to give us 24. So this is the arithmetic operators. Let's not forget the division, which comes like this. And for us to have a complete whole number, we use 2, it gives us 4. Now notice that here we are getting 4.0, which is a floating point number. If we don't want the floating point number, we use this. It gives us just the integer. Then this is called the Florin division. Floor division. That is it. Then we have the very important one called modulus. Modulus is nothing but talking about the remainder. Like you have 8 oranges and you are sharing it for 3 people. Now the normal division we know will get us how many whole oranges each person gets. but this modulus is talking about how what is the number of oranges left behind after each person must have gotten an equal number of oranges. So here we are going to have it to be 2. That means if you take 8 oranges and share it among 3 people, each person gets 2 oranges, giving us 6 oranges out of the 8. And when this is done, you have 2 oranges left. So that is it. We also have the power operator, and this is just the exponentiation. It's another way of doing the exponentiation with a function called power. So here we have okay, let's take here for instance, let's say 8 raised to the power of 2, which is 8 squared, giving us 64. You can do the same thing here. Power 8, 2, it gives us 64 also. Yes. Then you have some operators that can be performed on non-numeric values. Example of them is multiplication. Now, multiplication can be used in strings, but not in the usual sense. It could be seen as the usual sense we do in numbers, but this time it will not be summed up. Now, what do I mean? It's just okay. Let's say you are saying 4 times 4. First, you bring 4 in 4 places, then you add everything up to give us 16. But in strings, that's for numbers, but in strings, you still bring whatever you're multiplying by 4 in 4 places, but they cannot be summed up. That's why when we say what's up times 4, we are saying say what's up in 4 times. So it says what's up, what's up, what's up, and what's up, but they cannot be summed up. Then we also have addition in strings. In string is called concatenation, which is putting words immediately after another. Here we can say what's up. Sorry. How are you? How are you doing? So when you do the addition, it gives you one sentence put together like this. So that's it. It's called concatenation. Each of the strings are put immediately after another. Then we can also get help. Okay, we also have the center. If you have a longer string, you can use center for strings. Center is used to put the words at the middle of the number of spaces left or available. For instance, using this, we are saying put Clarisha University at the center of 50 spaces. Then the remaining spaces, leave it to be empty. So when we run, we get this. It can still be fill it with hyphen, and you have hyphen like this. It's all a matter of circumstances, and choice. So another thing we need to look at is the help string. This is used to find help about a um, about an object. Here we did help string. It tells us about the string object, everything we need can know about it. Um, First, it says this creates a string object from the given object. If encoding or error is specified, then the object must expose a data buffer that will be decoded using the given encoding and error handler. Otherwise, it returns the result of the object, dunder string dunder bracket, if defined or presented. Now it goes on to give us the methods that can work on strings down. So we've already used the center. Now we have this lower. Now this self is used when the string is being used inside a class. So this makes it a method of the given class. But if we're using it outside of a class, we'll just omit the self operator. So something like here, you can say Clarisha University dot lower. Okay, an error, we'll fix it. So the lower turns everything to lowercase, all the characters. If we say upper, it turns every character also to the uppercase. If we say capitalize, it will give it sentence capitalization, whereby the first letter is capitalized. So we'll be seeing more of the help function as we go. Okay, this is just using the operations in making sentences. So when you go through the notebook, which I'll share, you'll be able to follow along this part. So let's continue with the assignment operator. The assignment operator in programming, this is not equals. This means assignment operator or assign. Here now, it means that if you take the value of y and assign it to or give it to x, that means if y was of value 200, after this x will equally be 200. So let's see how it goes. Assuming you have x, when you print x is 2, and then you now have y to be 8. When you now say x equal to y, you now say x again, x becomes 8 and no more y. This can be used in value swapping. So something is done here. Okay. So here we give x the value of 1, while y acquires the value of 2. Now x comma y, we assign it y and x. This means the first one, give it the value of the first value here, the second one here, giving the value of the second value here. So it invariably swaps the values. So at the end of the day, x will become 2 and y will become 1. So this is a shorthand used in Python. Yeah. This is it, and then this is the previous one I just explained. Then the oh sorry if I forget. Now let me take this for example. This means division and assignment at the same time. So it means divide and assign. So let me explain it with the addition, assign, add, and assign operator. So now let's say we have okay, x. It's already 2, and we want to add 2 to x and still store it in x. So it will be x plus 2, then we assign it to x back. So when we print, previously x was 2, so it's going to be 2 plus 2, giving us 4. So when we run, it becomes this. Now x is equal to 4. When we run this again, it will be equals to 4 plus 2, which will give us 6. Then it will be reassigned to x. So when we print, we have x to be 6. Now this one Python philosophy is to help us type less and achieve more. So instead of doing this can be shortened to assign and add and assign to. So you add, the first one is you add 2 to the variable, and you also assign it to the variable also. So let's go back and start with x being 2. So let's start from here. So after here now, x is equal to 2. So when we run this, the first one we get 4, and we run it again, we get 6. If we do it the next time, we get 8. So this is also normally used for increment in say loop, where we normally increase the value of a variable by a given parameter until a condition becomes false. So this is the add assign. So the same principle applies to the minus assign, multiply assign, divide modulus, and the rest with the assignment operator. Now we have the comparison operators. So this says checking if x and y now are equals. The comparison operators return just 2 values, either true or false. True can be equivalent to 1, false equivalent to 0. So here it's saying, is x equal to y if actually x is equal to y, it gives us true. Here is checking if x is not equal to y. If x is not equal to y, whether it is less or bigger, it's just not equals, it gives us true. Then if x is greater than y, gives us true. If otherwise, it gives us false. Then this is less than, checking if x is less than y. If x is less than y, then we have true, otherwise we have false. Now we have a special case whereby we check two conditions at the same time. This is greater than or equal to. So if x is greater than y, we have true. If x is less equal to y, we also have true. So let us see them in action. Here we say x equal to 20, y equal to 10. Now we say let's take them one after another. So x equal to y, what is it going to give us? False, because x and 10 and 20 are not equal. But let's say x equal to 20, true, because x is really equal to 20. Then x not equal to y, it is true, 10 and 20 are not equal. So let us try and see if x is greater than or equal to y. Is x greater than y? X is 20, yes, it's greater than y. So we have true here. So the remaining will not be considered. But then if we check x less than or equal to y, is this true? Is x less than y? No. No. So once one operator checks or validates to false, the whole thing becomes false. So this is just equivalent to what we already did. Yeah. So that is it on operators. So let's go back. Let's go to the next one. Conditional statement, which is a very important topic. Conditional statement is very important. We use it to check if something is true or false, just like we had in comparison operators. So we do if. You normally use the if, elif, and else. These are the conditional statements that control the flow of execution based on whether the condition is true or false. Now, allow me to say at this point that you can nest conditional statement. When I say nest, I mean you put one conditional statement into another conditional statement, and if need be, you can put more conditional statements into one conditional statement. Yeah, just like embedding, you can embed conditional statement into conditional statement. That is what nesting means in programming, putting one item into another. So now I would illustrate with my own personal way, then while I share the notebook for you to go through. Yeah. So now let's say here you are sent to go and buy a bottle of Coke. That means if you get there and ask, do you people have Coca-Cola for sale, a bottle of Coke for sale. If they truly have Coke for sale, you buy. That is, if it is true, you will be buying. If it is not true, what else do we do? Well, it depends on the condition. So we are going to be trying it out. Let's say you get to where they sell drink. Let's say the drink is Coke. So it could go like this. If drink yeah, when you arrive, you say if drink is equal to Coke, you now say something like I want to buy Coke bottle. Otherwise, then else, that is else is otherwise. If if they don't have a bottle of Coke, then if there is Pepsi Cola, they are very similar. Sorry, it can be like since there is no Coke bottle, let me do with Pepsi Cola. Then else part here means when every other condition has been failed. Okay, let's say now on a second thought, if they don't have say Coke and they don't have Pepsi Cola, what else do you need? Well, drink is then equal to Fanta, like let me just have a chilled bottle of Fanta. Then else, when nothing else is available or is true, it can be like print. Well, I can manage until I get to where I can buy a bottle of soft drink. Yes, so this is it. So let's do the execution. So now the drink is Coke, so this one validates to true because the drink is now Coke. So I want to buy Coke bottle, gets printed here. But then if it's not Coke and it's Pepsi, so you see what happens in answer. Oh, wow, since there is no Coke bottle, let me make do with Pepsi Cola. And if for any reason there is no Pepsi Cola, we have Fanta. This one will not be true, and this one will not be true, but then this one becomes true. It will now say, let me just have a chilled bottle of Fanta. So this one becomes the truth, the one that validates to true. It now says, let me have a chilled bottle of Fanta. But then if it's not Coke, it's not Pepsi, it's not Fanta, well, let's say it is what they have is just water. It now says, well, I can manage until I get to where I can buy a bottle of soft drink. This is how it goes. So this is normal flow of conditional statement. That is condition statements made based or operations performed based on the condition. So here now the condition is the available drink is water. Previously it was Coke, then it was Pepsi, then it was Fanta, and then the operations changed on the basis of the condition of the drink that was available. So now let's look at the nesting part of it. Here, let's assume you'd like to have a bottle of Coke with, say, a meat pie. Yeah. So now, after checking and finding out that there is a bottle of Coke, the next thing we check is let's add snack here. Let's say meat pie. Then you can say if snack sorry if snack equals meat pie, what do we do? Please get me a bottle of Coke and one meat pie. Then if there is no meat pie, you can check if snack is then this is trying to be sausage roll. Let me just say gala. If it is gala, we can also I can take a bottle of Coke with one gala. Then let's leave it at this. Then if there is no meat pie, there is no gala, that means none of the snacks exist. You can say just get me a bottle of Coke. I can manage it. So these ones are embedded conditional statements. They are only checked when Coke is validated to be true. Okay, let me add a comment here. This is a nested conditional statement. It is only checked when Coke is available. So in the same way we put nested conditional statements, we can also put more nested conditional statements here and under these other ones for Pepsi, for Fanta, and even for the else statement, and it's used only when the case is necessary. Don't just do things for doing sake. So let's rerun and check. So let's say we have Coke here, then we have meat pie. So what do we do? Get you to say, please get me a bottle of Coke and sorry and one meat pie. Yeah, get me a bottle of Coke and one meat pie. That's what you get. Then if what's available is gala, note that this then validates to true. To say I can take a bottle of Coke with one gala. And when none of them validates to true, that means snack is not meat pie and snack is not um, gala. Let's say it is egg roll. To just say, just get me a bottle of Coke. So that's it. That's it. Yeah. So let's pause it at this point. Next time we'll continue with the list. Yeah. Thank you for coming around and taking the class. Do have a lovely day ahead.